Okay, so I'm making this video because everything just within the last, I don't know, umpteen hours, or I would say ever since right before this weekend, has just been incredibly weird. What? Weird, you say? How? But in any case, there's going to be some funny stuff, some serious stuff, and a lot of contemplative stuff, like just stuff that I've seen online this whole week. And I just wanted to share it with somebody or somebody or something, because I'm cooped up for the most part. It's like, I have to tell you something. That's where I go with it. I'm like, oh my God, I have to tell you something. And I know that my audience on YouTube will be the most appreciative and the most open to discussion about it. So I'm really, really excited. Okay, the first thing that I wanted to mention was this morning's press conference where finally it kind of feels like everybody's really taking this seriously. And I think in a way there really is a lot of cognitive dissonance sometimes. Now, that's not the government's job to be cognitively dissonant, but even still, I think a lot of us are just like, what? Is this for real? This is an REM song. This is an REM song at the beginning of Independence Day. And at any moment, the aliens are going to come save us or beat us up. Actually, they'll beat us up. And in this case, coronavirus is that alien. And of course, it's all on St. Patrick's Day. I just wanted to, I don't know, I'm just showing you St. Patrick's Day because it makes me happy. It had always made me happy. And the thing of it is this today, like, on the 17th was the only day I worked because it was going to be a busy day at work. But other than that, I'm conveniently enough on vacation as a late birthday present to myself. So I now have the next 6 days off, which I will spend gleefully in quarantine, although it's great because some of the restaurants down the street are open for takeout. And I think it's just that they don't want crowding because, like, I know that you could go to the restaurant and somebody there could have it, but they don't want you being too close to anyone and they don't want big crowds. And I think that's their whole rationale. Obviously, there's no way to totally contain it. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. But I don't know. St. Patrick's Day always used to make me so happy. And it was just contrapuntally not making me as happy as usual today. Oh my God. And the thing of it is I went into work. And as soon as I went into work, or like as soon as I go into a public place, I get really afraid of coughing because this time of year is my allergy season. And normally I don't cough for the allergy season. I sneeze a lot. So thank God this isn't a virus of copious amounts of sneezing. But I always get so nervous that I'm going to start coughing and everybody's going to start looking at me and thinking that I have it. And then I'm afraid that if I do have it, that I'm going to give it to them. It's like, it's not even about me. It's like just about other people and what they'll think. And like, God forbid I give it to anyone, especially an old person, like some old lady, like walking past me in the grocery store. Although between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. is the old people's time in the grocery store, which is weird because I was going to try and go over there and get toilet paper tomorrow morning. But yeah, I'm probably not going to want to wake up at 7 a.m. I'm exhausted enough as it is. But that said, no, I just get really, really nervous about giving it to somebody. And then the girl who sits next to me in my office is this beautiful, like, early 30s something girl that all the boys like in my office. And it's like, well, not like that. I mean, she has a boyfriend, so it's not like that. But, you know, they like talking to her and stuff. And I'd feel equally as bad if I gave something to her, too. So anyway, I just get this horrible tickle in my throat lately when I'm out in public. When I'm out in public, but in closed quarters, and then I just want to cough. And it's like, every time I breathe in, I'm thinking about it now and I want to cough. Oh my God. But then when I'm at home alone, or when I'm just like shopping, like I went to Staples tonight, and oh my God, they were actually open. I had to get cardboard boxes for my back because I have, like, my mattress is going bad, and then I have this mattress cover, and the only way that I can relax is to sleep on something firmer like a cardboard box underneath the mattress topper. Oh my God, you guys so didn't need to know that, but that's okay because now we're looking at this cute picture. This is the picture of him, Oscar the Wonder Cat, before he sneezed on me the other day. Look at him. He's got such that sneezy face. The glassy-eyed look. That's when I said, he sneezed on me. He sneezed on me. Get the disinfectant and the Lysol wipes and the neon orange vomit powder. Ah! Okay, so this is how it's gonna go down. So you know it just got real when Walt Disney shuts down. Oh, when Walt shuts down Disney World. Well, Walt's dead. So actually, it really is the end of the world as we know it if Walt Disney be coming back, yo. He's like the corporate messiah. When Walt shuts down Disney World and Mormons can't go to church. See, we heal through laughter. So I just have to throw in all the jokes I've seen all week. Forgive me. Some of you guys have probably all seen this stuff on Facebook, but I still had to share. Someone please explain the need to stock up on toilet paper for an upper respiratory virus, or is everyone doing this just full of shit, really? Well, I told you guys, I said to myself, I'm like, there's like some band of brothers traversing the country, doing it in every state, doing it in every city, just stealing the toilet paper as a sign that this is partly bullshit. Now, which is not to say I take it lightly, because obviously I'm paranoid about infecting other people if I would have it, but still, it's like, you've got to look at things from both angles, and that's what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm not going to make light of it. I am going to quarantine myself. That's fine. I got a shit ton of books. I got a shit ton of DVDs, whatever. But, and I like to be thorough. Like, I'm so thorough. I am so thorough that even if a video that I'm watching sucks on YouTube, I'll just watch it all the way to the end, because I'm like, I could be missing something. Oh my God, I'm doing that. I have to tell you something, voice. Okay, I'm talking a lot more than I talk in my normal videos where I talk a lot. So you guys know I've been in quarantine. But anyway, I'm sure some of you guys have already seen this. The surprise has already been ruined. But this is Sylvia Browne. So in a book, all I know of this is it was a book that came out like around the time SARS had come out. So I guess it's not that much of a stretch that she would write this, because it was kind of on everyone's mind. Although maybe Sylvia Browne wasn't thwarted by SARS, or it wasn't made such a big deal of, like maybe it wasn't in the forefront of her mind. Although it could have been subconscious. But anyway, so she talks about, and I snopesed it. It gave it a half and half true. Well, it said it was half and half because they're like, well, she's kind of gotten a lot of things wrong, and she's also been in jail a few times. Like, I just remember she was kind of a fraud when or she was deemed to be a fraud later on in her life. But hey man, a broken clock is right twice a day. And I just thought it was interesting. She got the year right. She just said, and this is written more clearly so you can see it. And around 2020, a severe I always want to say pneumonia-like illness will spread throughout the globe, attacking the lungs and the bronchial tubes and resisting all known treatments. Almost more baffling than the illness itself will be the fact that it will suddenly vanish as quickly as it arrived, attack again 10 years later, and then disappear completely. Attack us again 10 years later if we're still around. But that said, I just thought it was really interesting. And this one, of course, is more sobering. I couldn't not remark on this. Just went to Seattle's UW Medical Center to ask how much patients are being charged for a coronavirus test. $100 to $500 if they have insurance, $1,600 if they don't. Now, I think the government is starting to realize they can't really fuck around. So, Rotten in Denmark. I like that it's from a guy named Rotten in Denmark. Because at first I thought it was Denmark. And I'm like, wait, Denmark is known to have a very, very sound medical system. However, he's talking about Seattle, which is supposed to have very sound coffee. But the coffee shops are no longer open. Although you can get takeout, I guess. Anyway, Fraser Crane lives up there. And his Space Needle moved. And that's a Mandela effect. So that's all fucked up. Oh yeah, all kinds of fucked up. Okay, and I don't really think I have too much to say more about this, except for I never noticed it. Although I always thought Elaine's shoes were so cute. And that's just her sitting there looking like she's giving the finger, which she's not. But they're like black and white non-checkerboard shoes. And then the evil Jamie Gertz had the all black shoes. Again, these are all things I saw on the internet this week. Don't judge. If the coronavirus has taught us anything, it is the lengths people will go to when desperate. Next time you want to judge boat people, refugees, migrants fleeing the war-torn land, remember we fought over toilet paper. Toilet paper. It's kind of true. I mean, I made this point before. It's like all those people, and I'm not trying to lecture, but I'm just saying that we oftentimes forget, like, all those people in South and Central America, are coming up here because their countries are really fucked up. And a lot of it is like Banana Republic type shit that America did to their countries. So it's just all kinds of messed up. And now we're in our own kinds of messed up. But we're not that messed up because a lot of us has to have toilet paper. I don't. I have 1.5 more rolls. So if I don't get toilet paper by Thursday, it could be bad. Because I'm a middle-aged lady. And I need my toilet paper. Okay, this one's just funny. Me, invite friends over to my house. My dad. I knew a lot of dads like this growing up. But my dad's like a workaholic, so I don't know. Well, he's not like a workaholic, but like, he just wouldn't do that. But he would be bald. Oh, and by the way, this is gonna get more well, not more interesting. Yeah, technically it's not as interesting as Mandela Effect video. However, it's gonna get more serious eventually. Just you wait, Henry Higgins. Just you wait. So Costco toilet paper. Ooh, a math problem. I wonder if they got it right. I'm like so tired right now, you guys. I couldn't even do this. Although I do know that if you were to make a bunch of money, like about $40 per hour, going all the way back to biblical times, you'd have like $8.2 billion or something like that. I did the math. It's totally true. That's how much like $8.2 billion is. But I digress. I digas. Costco toilet paper, 30 rolls, 425 sheets per roll. 12,750 sheets per case, 20 sheets per shit, 637.5 shit per case, 45.5 shits per day. So a person that grabs... Two weirdos with a page. So a person that, hey, that's cool. I'm going to look at that website. So a person that grabs 4 cases of TP from Costco and has a family of 4 need to shit 182 times a day to use the purchased amount of TP at 20 sheets. 20 sheets or 20 shits per shit. Let's all calm down. Oh yeah, now this is a good one. If you're upset about regular folk hoarding toilet paper, wait till you hear about how a tiny percentage of rich people have hoarded almost all the world's wealth. See, I love those stats. That goes back to my billion musings. I'm going to another dimension. You need anything? Yeah, some toilet paper would be nice so I don't have to rip the pages out of this book. And use those. Hey! That might actually have to be a thing. Forget the greeting cards at the Walgreens. I got a shit ton of books in here. Some of them ain't even that good. I think I got a Dr. Phil book around here somewhere. Anyway, not to be redundant, but I posted this in my my community page because I thought it was just so fitting. I swear, this is gonna get more serious. I swear, I got some facts and figures. Well, maybe not figures, but I got some facts. Panic at the Costco. Bow, bow, bow. Okay, now we start getting more serious. So this is my grocery store. I have been to my grocery store once a day since like Thursday or Friday, and they have been totally out of toilet paper. Oh yeah, no, it has been since Thursday. And like I heard that they were hoarding toilet paper and I couldn't believe it. I was like, toilet paper? I mean, with this thing, supposedly you don't even have to blow your nose that much. It's just a shit ton of coughs. A shit ton of coughs. See what I did that there? But anyway, so now they're finally limiting 2 paper towels and 2 they call it bath tissue. I get in the bath and I rub my body with... Maybe that's what they're doing. They're not using it for its intended purpose. They're using it to bathe with. That's why everybody's so confused. We've jumped into a parallel universe. Damn, I'm good. I'm just kidding. But anyway, so it's not getting any better, but at least they're limiting it. I think that's good. I think that's socially and fiscally and orthopedically responsible. I don't know what I meant by orthopedically responsible. I just had to throw in another adjective there. And I like ones that make no sense. Okay, so this is something that Jesus recommends. Now, what do I mean by Jesus? There's this guy on my moderate, like, conservative radio station that I sometimes listen to out here. And don't get me wrong, I listen to the liberal stuff. I listen to, like, moderate, conservative, whatever. Sometimes I even watch Fox News. Don't tell my mom. Or my dad, because he's a college professor. But anyway, so This is food grade wash. It's called Eat Cleaner. And the guy who plays Jesus, well, it's called the Jesus Christ Show. He has kind of a soothing voice in kind of a non-breathy, pragmatic kind of way. But anyway, he has kind of a soothing voice and he gives really good advice. The only bad advice I ever heard him give in all my years listening to the show was this guy called and he goes, "Oh yeah, I married my wife, but I'm not as attracted to her now and I think I want to leave her." And Jesus goes, "Oh no, you can't." I love it when people go, "Hey Jesus, how's it going?" Like they'll call into the show and they'll be like, "Hey Jesus, how's it going?" And I'm like, "Oh hell no." "Hey man, I'm just surfing. It's good, dude." But I don't know, but then Jesus was all like, "No, you got to stay with her, dude. She made a commitment to you." And I'm thinking to myself, would you really want somebody staying with you out of obligation and vice versa? Like, that's not fair to either of them. Although, I guess Jesus has to be pro, like, staying together marriage. And now the cat wants to weigh in. Jeez, you were sleeping really well. You gonna sneeze on me again? Don't touch it. Don't do it. Homie, don't play that. You can't touch this. Quarantino. It sounds like a weird kind of ice cream. Actually, I knew this guy I used to work with at Man's Chinese Theater. His name was Juventino. Talk about a name. I know. Talk about a name from a parallel universe. And he would walk up to us. He was so sweet though, and he would walk up to us like this. "I am a Juventino." It was so awesome. Okay, now we start getting to the more serious stuff, yo. What a strange and assholey time for an election. Speaking of Jesus would think it would be an assholey time for an election too. But okay, so some people are saying that Joe Biden's being irresponsible. I would say the entire DNC is being responsible with this shit. It's like, if other states can move their elections, why can't anybody else? And handsy old Joe just don't give a fig. I mean, he's telling everybody to go out there and vote. And by the way, he was already accused, by 7 other women of being too handsy and being a close talker and essentially being like Judge Reinhold times 100 on Seinfeld. But this is just stupid. I mean, of course he's going to write it here, but, Joe should have been there. A vote for Joe is a vote for Corn Pop. But, he's going to go there, and how do we know he's not going to infiltrate the voting booths with the nose and the Groucho Marx glasses and, want to touch all the ladies? And maybe even some of the men. So anyway, he's just being patriotic. He's doing his civic duty. The right to vote is the most sacred American right there is. State election officials are working closely with public health officials to hold safe elections. If you're feeling healthy and not showing symptoms and not at risk of being exposed to COVID-19, not at risk of being exposed. Have you seen how close those voting booths are, along with how closely you have to stand in line? Shoot, I stood in line for an hour and a half at one place, and then, okay, maybe it was 45 minutes, and then I went to another place and I stood in line for a whole hour. Okay, so then we go back to on Friday when they started shutting all the shit down. Donald Trump's press conference, and I'm going to reiterate this again in case if you guys are even still watching. Oh my God, I just feel like I'm being so rambly. But the rockin' cherry blossoms mid-March, and all the motherfuckers of the press sitting down on the ground, less than 2 feet away from each other. And my friends noticed that when they were just sitting around waiting for the president to even come out, they were coughing into their hands, not using Kleenex. Probably because somebody took all the toilet paper and the paper products already. But it was just weird. I was watching the Orange Non-Wonder's latest press conference and certain observations. The gathering of what looks like more than 250 people, all standing close, reporters in particular. Everybody up on the podium, standing in close proximity, shaking hands, breathing into the same mic without even washing it off. And I'm sorry, up at the podium, there's that's a love fest right there. I don't even know what the hell that is. That's more than 20 people. I wonder if they all got to speak. That was a damn long conference. Doctors not even taking their own advice. So then there's even more cognitive dissonance because, okay, so this is what I wrote above. Headline from today, which was yesterday, and a tweet from 7 days ago. Some have speculated he now owns the rights to the vaccine. God damn. Somebody sounded like they threw a tennis ball against my wall. They speculated he now owns the rights to the vaccine, or maybe bought out all the stock in toilet paper products. That was my little joke. So as we can see on the top, dated March 16th, posted at 3:33 p.m., Trump says coronavirus crisis could stretch into August. May look at lockdown for certain areas. Oh, you like that, Trumpy baby. And then, like on March 9th, so this is less than 10 days before March 16th, folks. So last year, 37 Americans died. See, this is my bad imitation. So last year, 37 Americans died from the common flu. It averages between 27,000 and 70,000 per year. Nothing is shut down. Life and the economy go on. At this moment, there are 546 confirmed cases of the coronavirus with 22 deaths. Thank you. Think about that. And then the next headline. Oh, and by the way, speaking of headlines, supposedly on Facebook, any anti-Trump postings you make, or any just neutral Trump postings you make, or any Biden bashing posts you make are being taken down. I've heard from my friends. I'm like too nice of a person to do that, yo. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't checked. But then again, I've had better things to do with my time than post no damn Donald Trump post. Well, except for the ones I just showed you. Okay, so if those are gone, so what? Little do they know I printed them out for posterity. I got around the cyber... What is it? The cyber police, yes. Oh, what's your name? I keep wanting to call him Jared Kushner. That's not who he is. Mark Zuckerberg, you've got nothing on me. Okay, Trump didn't push for more coronavirus testing because he was concerned that high infection numbers might dent his re-election chances, report says. And that guy next to him agrees. I can just tell he does. He's also scared of communism. You can just tell by the look on his face and by the cringe in his brow. But it gets even weirder. Okay, Kathy Deal, this new COVID testing launch is owned by Jared Kushner's brother, Josh. See, this is why I had Jared Kushner on the brain. Apparently, we didn't have testing because the Trump family circle wanted to wait till they could make a profit. Now, I don't know who the hell Kathy Teal is, although I do like the color of her last name. So I can't really substantiate it, but who the hell can substantiate anything, in the news? They say it for ratings. They say it for whatever. Best thing we know is it's all based on partial truths, at least. Because you got to have some truth in it. Otherwise, people could suss it out better. But I think people are sussing out more than they used to. So then you got all these videos like Trump and Pence infected. So then I don't know if they're rumors or if they're just differing stories because they're all contradicting each other. So Trump, I guess, saw Bolsonaro the other day. So Brazil official who met Trump test positive for virus number 1. Trump's Mar-a-Lago closed for deep cleaning after 3 corona cases. Oh yeah, deep cleaning. I bet you they got a bunch of cases of herpes and crabs down there too. They don't need to just be cleaning it for coronavirus. Trump tests negative for the coronavirus. Donald Trump tests positive for coronavirus, COVID-19. Nice that they specified. It's coronavirus, COVID-19. And 2020, a third specification. Donald Trump tests negative for novel coronavirus. A News. The A is interesting. Now, I know that's their channel name, but the A is interesting. We will get to that. U.S. President Donald Trump reveals he took a coronavirus test. Why it's important Trump hasn't been tested for... For what? For what, pray tell? They cut it off. Huge! Democrats... Oh, impeachment lawyer tests positive. Blames Trump for what? Dang it. I didn't see what that one was. Lawyer in Trump's impeachment hearing tests positive for coronavirus. Well... Donald Trump can make some money off him and his illness. Lawyer in Trump's impeachment. Okay, so, somebody infected somebody with something. Trump tests negative for virus. We're sure these people aren't getting negative and positive confused. Because positive is negative and negative is positive. Wait, what? Okay, so the survey says a lot of negatives. But like there are rumors that he got tested twice, and then he said he did have it, or he said he did get tested, then he said he didn't get tested. President Trump not taking responsibility for... Yep, that's Trump. You can tell. That's his not taking responsibility face in his red tie. Donald Trump tested negative. Okay, U.S. president. Okay. So negative, negative, negative. One positive. Bada bing, bada boom. Survey says indeterminate. Oh, and the big win with his press conference. Standing still, way too close to these people. Says he's been tested for coronavirus, although it didn't say what results he got. An A, perhaps? Again with the A. I'm telling you, A is going to be the thing here. That's going to be the theme for this video. Okay, now another like totally weird thing from this week is an election day director gave this really weird speech, or he started to, about how the polling places were going to look and how they were able to clean them and just the security of the polling places for people to vote, even if they were at risk for coronavirus. So anyway, it was the weirdest video I've ever seen. It lasts maybe about 2 minutes, and I'm going to leave it in the link below. You guys have got to see this. So like, this guy, he's just giving the speech about how it's all going to go down tomorrow regarding the elections. And that's such a weird way to put it. Presidential preference election, March 17th. So he's talking like regular, but he's kind of stuttering and stammering. And then he starts to get antsy. And he says to this other election official, in the second picture here, he's like, I can't do this. And he walks off. And this guy just like gives him the evil eye. Like this guy standing in the center, this guy will like not stop staring at where this other guy walked off. And he's still staring. And it's just a really weird video because you have no idea if the election director was like a hypochondriac, if he felt if his conscience was getting the best of him, that they were still holding elections on this day, if there's some riggery going on. Oh my God, I just invented that word. I am so smart. Riggery. You have to say it with the trilled R's. You have to say it with the like hoity-toity phony British R's. But it's just really weird. I'll leave the link down below and I'll let you guys watch it because I'd be curious to know what you think. And what was I going to say? Oh, another set of links that I'll leave down below too are the song parodies for Come On Eileen COVID-19. And I cannot believe how many different versions there are. Like, I had heard about it and I was thinking, oh my God, there's only one version, I bet. There's all these different versions by all these amazingly talented and brilliant people. See, times like that, when I see somebody being so innovative and funny and smart, and kind is good. Usually kind is like the top thing I look for, but you can't really tell that in a song video. You can just tell if there's funny and smart. I just think to myself, oh my God, this is such a special species. I love my species. And then my species goes and does shit like this, and I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with my species? So you got it again in another article. Trump says coronavirus crisis could stretch into August. That seems kind of a bit excessive, but then I speculated above. Yeah, oh, and hell no, there's no way we can go through this long. Small businesses and nonprofit performing arts organizations alone could never adhere to this. I'm sorry, but either there's something they're not telling us, for better or for worse. Oh my God, did I just say that twice? Did I just repeat myself? Anyway, yeah, because it just really made me think. I'm like, what is it they're not telling us? And again, it's going to be the A thing in part. Here's the coronavirus task force giving an update again. Standing close like a hippie sit-in. My God. Who the hell stands that close in like normal real life? Unless it's a freaking hippie lovin'. I'm telling you. I'm kind of being facetious. But so what? I like the image. So then I have a friend on Facebook she's like a kid in a candy store asking all these questions. She's a therapist. She's like, I'm like a kid with a million questions. So if you find it annoying, just ignore me. But it seems to me that the doctors contracting this virus are getting much more severe. I think she means infections. I don't know what XSX means. Than the general population. Or is that an S&M? And that's kind of severe too. Or is it just my imagination? Like with a 40-year-old doctor from NJ who was or is still in critical condition didn't hear that he had an underlying conditions. Why is it this case? So a lot of people said, well, they're exposed to some of the worst cases, that's why they get that. But then one of her friends said, okay, now here's the A part. She said that she heard that people with A type blood type, what am I trying to say? With our ARH blood type get the virus much easier. So if you have A blood type, you're much more vulnerable to the type of antigens. Blood carriers being less able to fight this off. And then I had another friend, which peripherably, oh my God, I can't even talk. So in the past 10 minutes, I've gotten 2 phone calls from a Washington, D.C. number. And they've been a recording of a woman speaking in Chinese, accompanied by music that sounds oddly like the theme song to the Bill Bixby Incredible Hulk TV series. How's your quarantine going? And the funny thing about this is, of course, that the virus started in China. And the Incredible Hulk, well, you see how he would transmogrify when he got angry. I don't know. Hulk looked kind of like a lizard. He looked kind of reptilian, but in a big muscular way. And it's also random, but it's also symbolic because she's speaking Chinese. It comes from Washington, D.C. The music sounds like the Incredible Hulk. And again, this is right after a reading about the A blood type reason that people are getting sick, or the A blood type vulnerability to this. So then my same friend who's asking all these questions said, I was in Central African Republic for 2 years as a Peace Corps volunteer, which I didn't know about her. She's incredible. I can't imagine this back then. Although we were evacuated and flown out in French military jets due to a military coup when I was there. So it says Peace Corps evacuating all volunteers across the world. And this is, of course, for the coronavirus. She then goes on to say there was an Ebola outbreak in the Congo, which borders CAR, I guess that's what it is. And I lived relatively close to that area, but they didn't evacuate us. And this is what I'm saying. It's like they are going so much crazy over this virus than they ever did over the bird flu, the swine flu, monkeypox, any of those other animals. But this one, the one that came from snakes, not so much. Well, snakes was one of the animals, but even still, snakes figured into it quite handily. And George Norrie also, too, has this theme. He's got this running theme sort of conspiracy theory on his show that he claims that one of the people who worked at one of the disease labs over there sold the snakes to that wet market. But I don't know. I mean, I can't find anything to substantiate that per se. So anyway, all this quarantining, and speaking of snakes, and the fact that this virus came from snakes, or that was one of the originations, falls on the day that St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland. Or it doesn't fall on the day, but it falls around the day, the mania in the USA. And there's just a cute little artistic joke because, well, we have to. How much further? I have to go to the bathroom. I'm going to be sick. Are we there yet? So anyway, and it kind of got me thinking, about just blood types. And, well, it got me thinking about why the so-called shape-shifting reptilians that run the government are so afraid of this virus compared to all the others. Now, again, I know that's the most outlandish conspiracy theory we know, but it's still it's probably one of the most fascinating ones of the outlandish. And again, for whatever reason, I don't totally laugh at it as much as I do the other outlandish ones, because seriously, I don't know what people turn into when they go home at night. And for all I know, aliens did settle us. I mean, no missing link in the DNA, or they can't find the missing link in the DNA, and our DNA looks manipulated, so who knows? But that said, it got me wondering about snakes and blood types. And they say like a lot of elite families are of the negative Rh blood type. And while I couldn't find anything about that, I found out more on this. So I looked it up and I found quite a bit of articles between the ABO blood group. And people with blood type A may be more vulnerable to coronavirus. And of course, these are the percentages. A is about as common as O. But what they say, and this is a theory I heard once before, is when they were forming humans In the early years, O was the first batch, A was the second batch of humans, B was the third batch, and AB was the fourth batch. It's really respective of nothing in this instance, but I find it very fascinating. So this article here was one of the most arresting and starts off thusly. So here's another update about the deadly coronavirus. If you are a blood type A person, you have higher risks of catching this. And if you're a blood type O person, you have a lower risk, which is kind of interesting. So it says, at first reported by a South China Morning Post, a Chinese medical study recently concluded that human blood types might affect whether a person quickly gets COVID-19 or not. As explained, persons with blood type A have higher risks of obtaining the disease from a carrier, while type O typically shifts the virus and less likely encounters the disease. Because apparently it adheres to type A antigens better than it does to type O, supposedly. So, this conclusion was made after researchers led by Wang Zhuhan with the Center for Evidence-Based and Transitional Medicine at Zhonggan Hospital of Wuhan University published a study on March 11th saying that blood types of Wuhan death victims have similarities. They found that out of 206 deaths, 85 had type A blood, which was 63% more than the 52 with type O. Wang clarified that their study has not yet been finalized as of now, but that the research might lead authorities to protect more blood type A people, since they are initially proven to be more prone with COVID-19 compared to other blood types. SARS-CoV-2 infected patients with blood type A might need to receive more vigilant surveillance and aggressive treatment. See, I've never heard of anything like this, but I guess you look and you shall find. Blood group O had a significantly lower risk for the infectious disease compared with non-O blood groups. It might be helpful to introduce ABO blood typing in both patients and medical personnel as a routine part of the management of a SARS-CoV-2 and other coronavirus infections to help define the management options and assess the risk exposure to people. Since Wang already clarified their study is not yet reviewed thoroughly, another Chinese researcher at State Key Laboratory of Experimental Hematology in Tianjin named Gao Yingdai approved what they believed in. She even said that the study would make a major contribution to find potential carriers of the virus quickly. However, there's no need for worry. So she said this may be helpful to medical professionals, but ordinary citizens should not take the statistics too seriously. If you're a type A, there is no need to panic. It does not mean you will be infected 100%, she said. If you're a type O, it does not mean you're absolutely safe either. You still need to wash your hands and follow the guidelines issued by authorities in the United States. Is about 44% of the population is type O, while about 41% has type A blood. Whew, and with that, I'm actually finally starting to get tired and not as chatty. But that said, I did want to wish you guys a happy St. Patrick's Day, and what a better way to sing us all out than finding out what your type of toilet paper is in this time of need. Mine is an old sock, which is hilarious. My friend's, who was born in May, is a hand towel, which she was actually just in the Philippines, and she said the people in the Philippines use wet hand towels and then they just put them all in a basket and wash them in the laundry. And she says the people in the Philippines think that we're dirty and disgusting because we use toilet paper. So there you go. I guess it's all relative. And it all goes full circle back to my anthropology class in college where we were learning about all kinds of different cultures. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. A lot of fascinating, funny, weird stuff. You know, we're making light of it as we can, but we're also looking into things, and I think it's really interesting. That said, tell me what you see, tell me what you know, and more videos to come. All right, peace out, guys, and have a happy St. Patrick's Day.